Just imagine for a moment, if you want, that you just bought a new to you shaper or a milling machine. And it's time to make your first part. And to do that, of course, you need parallels. But of course, we don't have. So I cut out some blanks here. I will show first on the milling machine using the vise, and I will show it after on the shaper without using a vise. Making parallels, it's no big deal, right? Very simple little project to start with. Let me show you. To make it easy, we install, of course, our parallels on a pair of parallel in vise. There is, of course, a simple solution to this little problem. Take a piece of scrap, whatever piece of scrap, and the thickness of your scrap a little bit less than the width of the parallels you want to make. You're gonna use it as a mounting jig. Put it in the vise. Try to have it more or less aligned. Give me a quick cleanup so we're sure it is square with the machine. Drill hole, and of course tap a nice little thread in it. Drill holes in the parallels. Mount the assembly on the fixture. Do a bit of side milling in light passes. And of course the other side too. Yeah, right, it looks good. I'm gonna clean them up, deburr a bit, and let's take some measurements. Little change of plans over here. First I will make these parallels on the shaper, and then I can compare both at the same time. It will be easy to understand. Now, it will be easy to recognize because the milling machine parallels have holes in them and the shaper parallels doesn't. I will use a bit the idea of the two parts vise, the two piece vise, and for that I will use the same piece of scrap that first of all I'm gonna mount here on the table. And lucky I am, I can use these holes, at least one of them. So that's good. Make sure it's more or less aligned with the ram. It doesn't need to be high precision, of course. I will use one of these things. I think this is really easy to make. Drill holes and then tap these so you can put bolts in there. Nothing special, I suppose. This is held in place with T-nuts. And now I can install my future parallels in here. Give it a tap. You can use whatever tool you want, of course, from the moment you take light passes to prevent the old machine from flexing too much. This side is done. It gives a nice finish, that's for sure. Okay, other side. And again, light cuts. Alright, let's take the parts out. And now we can take some measurements. If you have a machine, whatever machine, you also have a surface plate. Right, let's give this a check. It will be easier to see if I put a 0 here. something like this. Right. So the height of both here is the same. Middle part 200s, 100s on the other one, 0 again, 200s of difference. That's a bit less than 1 thou for the imperial friends. Let's check these shaper parallels. They are not the same height, but that doesn't matter, of course. That looks like 0. A half one. What's happening here? Zero again. Measure the other one. Now, a half hundredths. So this is 5 microns of difference. This side 0 and a little bit over 0. 5 microns of difference for the shaper and almost 20 microns or a bit less than 1 thou for the imperials for the milling machine. Of course I probably knew it could happen because I still haven't fixed the Gibs problem in this machine, but one day I will. One day? Why not now? Here it is. Let's go to the workbench and have a closer look. The mark we see here, this is for the table lock system. And here's a big scratch in the thing. And on the other side I can see that here's some wear, but here are still scraping marks. So I think the easiest way will be to clean it up a bit and put a shim on this side. This one is the fixed side and this one rides on the dovetail. And when we have a look at the bolt that fits in here, I think it's an absolute stupid design, because this bolt is riding here on this rim. I can see that someone used a big hammer or something to have the thing in place. What could be an idea, maybe, is to drill and tap the head of the bolt, not too deep of course, and then put an Allen key head bolt in here. It will be easier to work. Right, I will clean it up a bit and then find something to shim. I think it will be paper. Let's do a little bit of redneck fix over here. And of course I put it in the wrong way. Come on, Gib. That seems to work. I installed paper packing in both Gibs. I reassembled the whole machine and I took video of it, and for some mysterious reason it disappeared. So this footage is lost for humanity, but I suppose you can live with it. Now, to be sure everything is okay now, I will make my parallels again. Installed my same piece of scrap again and skim the top surface again. Install the parallels again. Recut one side again and the other side also again. Let's take it out of here and bring it to the surface plate again. Right, let's take a little bit measurements here. This 0, okay? The other one 0. In the middle 0. The other one, was that a little bit of movement? A little bit. Almost nothing. This side 0. 0. I think that's a good result just for a piece of paper. I know you're gonna tell me that paper is not a good packing material for the Gibs of the dovetails. And I think you're right. But let me show you something. This Gib shaper can go further. It's maximum depth. So I take the thing apart. Hope it's not gonna fall down. Take the Gib out. And what do we find here? This piece of paper is in here for more than 1 year. Yes, it was a temporary fix, of course. Now I know that with a thickness of 1/10 of a millimeter, I can fix the two machines, so no problem. So I ordered real packing material, 1/10 of a millimeter thick, and when it arrives, I will fix it the way it has to be fixed. I received mail this week from Adrian from the UK, and he sent me this beautiful little card, maker of small things. I like it. That's beautiful. Also a very friendly little note, and this little book. In this little book you can find all information you need to machines and all kind of things. For example, here are bolt patterns to have the right measurements. There's information about drilling, tapping, thread cutting. There is Morse tapes. So Adrian, thank you very much. This little book is gonna be really handy here in the workshop. And as you can see, making parallels is really no big deal. If you have the right piece of paper, you can do